giving you a slice of unapologetic conversation. Welcome to Straight to Tape. My name is C. Perry the second of Mr. Fantastic of Podcasting's Fantastic Four. First, the comedian, professional joke slinger, Tico de Gallo. What's good, Tico?
What it do? People talk about it. I live it all day, every day, twice on a Tuesday. Used to be on a Sunday, but I be partying at London Bridge. So
Yeah. Just a little shout out to the weekend and the Sunday spot, London Bridge. Shouts out to DJ Assassin. Shouts out to Scotty Rock.
got it right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we don't get paid for that endorsement, but yeah, we
But
be out there.
that's
You
just
know what I'm
love.
saying?
That's just love. That's just love.
We
all
be
right?
out
Family,
there.
yo. That's
Yeah.
family.
It's a vibe. Yeah, but we
Yeah,
still ain't
okay.
getting paid for that. But family or not, we ain't getting paid for that endorsement. we still pay to eat and drink well in that place. You know what I'm saying? And the food and drinks are good, but we definitely pay for it.
So did that. Nigga, so did that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's true.
And of course, the first lady of S2T, the quintessential hip hop mom, Keisha with a Y. What's good, Key?
What's up, y'all? It's Keisha with a Y, aka Hip Hop Mom, aka Spring and Summer Concert Traveling Mom, and your mom's favorite mom. Got a lot of good things lined up here. Yeah. Yeah.
Bunch of good traveling, bunch of good music for the summer. I know what went on sale today. The Wu Nas tickets went on sale today.
We already got those last week.
Yeah, we already got those last week, exactly. So, and of course, our social media assassin for the Double Deuce, ladies and gentlemen, Rob the Actual. What's good, Rob?
For the Double Deuce, make it sound like I'm a daggone wino from back in the 80s, bro, drinking a
Where's your ice house?
deuce of Miller High Life or something, sitting on the corner
The champagne of beers.
singing doo-wop with a bunch of niggas, you know what I'm saying, over a bonfire.
That sound
Tico
like that
smiling because he know what I'm talking about.
That's that Philly shit. What you talking about?
Philly,
yo?
my ass, nigga. That's everywhere.
Nah.
Nigga.
That's that Philly shit. That's that Philly shit. You Tico know what I'm
Don't put
talking
that
about.
on Philly, nigga.
That
Don't put
ain't
that
no
on
Philly.
Philly.
That ain't no Philly.
Don't put
That's
that
what
on
ain't
Boys
Philly,
to
bro.
Men did, and didn't Boys to Men sing on a bonfire? They played some singing bums in New Jack City.
What? They did what?
Didn't they play some? Who played the bums singing around the oil drum fire in New Jack?
On New Jack City.
New Jack
I
City. No,
thought
That's
that
the
was
OJ.
that
That
was
was the
OJ.
OJs.
OJ's and
yeah,
Levert.
that was OJ's.
And
Yeah, 'cause I thought they did that in Women of Brewster.
Levert
place,
or
so,
somebody.
yeah.
Yeah, that was Levert. I think it was Levert. It was
It was
Levert.
Levert.
It was Levert.
yo.
It was
Yeah, it was.
Levert. I'm
The
sorry.
Red said it was
he look
Troop
like his
and
daddy.
Levert.
Hey,
You know he look like his daddy.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the building, man, ready to get this this ep kicked off. You know, Sixers pissing me off, the Phil's pissing me off. The NFL draft is this weekend. I don't know what the Eagles, but they probably gonna piss me off. So I'm pissed off, man. It has a lot to do with my sports teams. But yeah, I'm here. It's all good. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Bro, look, I'm glad you're here, whether you're pissed off or not. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we got an interesting and insightful show for you today. North Carolina State Senate candidate Lisa Grafstein is going to be in the house with us today. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Straight to Tape live Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and Twitch. Audio version of Straight to Tape is available on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you want to hear us on Apple Podcasts, there it is. You want to hear us on Google Podcasts, there it is. You want to hear us on iHeartRadio, there it is. You want to hear us on Tuned In, there it is. If you want to hear us on Amazon Music, guess what? There it
There
is.
it is.
All right. All
Yeah,
right. All right.
you could talk to
Whoop,
Alexa and Siri.
CLOS. CLOS. Whoop,
Exactly.
CLOS.
Look, make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. That's IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Straight to tape. Check out our YouTube channel, S2T Media. Hit the subscribe button. Be in tune. Be in tune with your favorite podcast.
Yo, man, I like to give a
What,
shout
man?
out to I like to give a shout out to Kevin Hart, man. He just inked a deal, man, a streaming deal. It's like one of the
Uh-huh.
biggest, like, you know what I'm saying, deals out here for a person um not to have any backing behind him. You know what I mean? So it's like self-made type, you know what I'm saying, streaming position, man. So shout outs to Kevin Hart. I think his streaming service or the streaming platform or all that is going to be called Heartbeat, if I'm
Mhm.
not
Oh,
mistaken.
okay.
So yeah, so that's probably another platform we probably have to squeeze on in on. So big ups to Kevin for that.
Hey, look, if there's a
That's what's up.
platform out there, I don't care if it's Cast Box, I don't care if it's Podbean, which both of those we are on, by the way, we're gonna squeeze on it because it's always about growing the platform that is straight to tape, that is S2T Media. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do. We like to get things started by taking a look at some of the biggest news storylines of the week and a portion of the show that we like to call the headline grab.
Nice.
So, where should we start? Why don't we start with the latest news that dropped yesterday? Billionaire
Listen.
Elon Musk
That
buys
picture, though.
Twitter.
Why that picture? Twitter.
What?
Twitter.
Um,
Twitter.
this, this is not all cash, right? Isn't this like Bitcoins and all other type shit? I don't know how you do it.
Who knows how he's going to finance it? But
Well,
he is.
actually,
God, no.
actually, he was one of the in a couple of deals that he made, he became he became one of the biggest shareholders on Twitter. Okay. And then he pretty much made them a take it or leave it offer last week of 44 billion to buy it. Pretty much gave him a week to think about it. And as of yet, and as of yesterday, the deal, they pretty much accepted the deal.
That's some gangster shit, yo.
Now, one thing, and Elon Musk has been a critic of the of the platform. Okay. And he says that he wants to make this platform better, especially as it relates to freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, panel, what do you think about the quote unquote richest man in the world buying a platform for the quote unquote purpose of freedom of speech?
Well, the first thing he's going to do is take it back as a private company so he doesn't have shareholders to answer to. And I haven't been on Twitter that long, like as long as I've been on Facebook or even Instagram, but just reading through comments, Twitter used to be a lot worse as far as hate speech and all those degenerative things that Twitter tries to deter. It was a lot worse as far as those things were concerned back in its inception. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just gonna go back to that." I'm good with that. I don't know what that consists of. You guys can speak on it if you were on Twitter back then, but it's a major move. You don't really see a lot of companies going from public to private. Um, and that's all so that he doesn't have to speak to the board or speak to his shareholders, and he can make any changes that he wants and do what he wants. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna really affect the number of subscribers. I really don't think so. But time will tell.
I've seen plenty of people complaining, okay, about the deal. All right. Um, and I've also, of course, when something like this goes down, you of course are going to see the threats about I'm going to jump off, I'm turning off my Twitter account, whatever. I know the way I look at it because I've been on Twitter since 2009 now. 2000, I jumped on Twitter, back before 2010. I do use it as to me, it's a good source of news if you are following credible news sources.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's with any platform now.
Exactly. I'm just going to take it as wait and see. All right.
Right.
To me, it's the only smart way. It's the only smart way to do it, because because we're already living in such a reactionary society. Why am I'm not going to be reactionary about this. I want to see what he's able to do, because look, does Twitter need to be cleaned up? Yeah, it does. People do get outrageous. I know. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been suspended, but I've gotten outrageous before. I've said
I don't
some.
believe you.
No, I've said some wrong. I've
I don't
said some
believe
wrong. Look. I've said some wrong things to some, to people, on Twitter. There was a certain comedian, not a comedian. Sorry, there's a certain commentator who, I might have, in the past, made a derogatory comment about her and her involvement with Jimmy Walker. But that's besides the point. Okay. I still, it's still freedom of speech, yes, but at the same time, you gotta be. Sometimes you do have to be mindful of what you say, and I'm just curious to see what he's
So
going to
my
do.
question is, why not let the people say what they're going to say? Because we all know that freedom of speech is not free, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So all of these deterrents and sanctions on people when they say things, and the algorithm completely takes it out of context most of the time. But when people are really being derogatory towards someone, there are often swift ramifications of what the for what they've said, right? So let them say that shit. Let them say it, and then they get found and fired and all of that stuff, because it happens in the blink of an eye nowadays. They will find you. They will find your job. They will find if you are self-employed, they will find the people you contract with on the internet. So go ahead and say all of it, and then you pay the price. But it is what it is.
Well, yeah, that part.
The whole.
Yeah, it kind of remains to be seen as far as like what's going to happen to people who inevitably are going to start talking reckless now. You know what I mean? If things open up, like Perry said, we're kind of in wait and see mode, but we can see where this could potentially open the door for an influx of people that decided to leave the platform because of the banning of a certain political figure. And
who said he's not coming back? He doesn't care who owns it. That's what Donnie T said. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. That's another wait and see thing. Everybody's sitting there like, oh snap, he about to come back, boy. But yeah, people gonna start talking reckless. Let them say, because we can't get mad because it's freedom of speech, right? But again, speech isn't so free because there are consequences for the things that you say. So just let these people give them a little rope and let them hang themselves.
Correcto.
As it were.
And how really free is freedom of speech when you look at the owners of the platforms, okay? You have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, okay? You have Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post. Okay. You have Zuckerberg, who owns the platform one of the platforms that you see that you see straight to tape on now with Facebook.
We can't make them lose their jobs.
No.
Right.
the Twitter research department or the internet research department cannot make them lose their job. So you're exactly right, Barry. There's that whole freedom and what you'll pay for what you say is dependent on your level in society, I guess, and your income and the power that you hold.
Tico?
Man, you know me, man. I've been talking this shit from from the jump, bro. I've been talking this shit since we started this whole shebang, bro. About, you know what I'm saying, freedom of speech, about censorship and all this other stuff. Yeah, it might have been jokes and people might have thought I was just on some fucking damn other shit, but nah. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I've said it all. I've already said it all, but yet and still, people still, dude. I mean, shit, dude. It's not freedom. It can't be freedom of speech if somebody owns the whole shit. It can't do that. And even if that's the case, like Rob said, it's going to be a fluctuation of bullshit. Again, that motherfucker is going to have to damn swim through to get to the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what he's going to do with it. I just know that he has the power to fucking damn, you know what I'm saying, record everybody's shit. I don't do Twitter because, you know what I'm saying, Twitter's one of those apps you got to be on it like constantly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to give it that much power. I've already gave him Facebook, like, you know what I'm saying, my left arm and leg. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and fucking damn Instagram already got my damn right foot. You know what I'm saying? So I can't give the rest of myself to Twitter, man. I can't do it. But, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting the way that, you know what I'm saying, what can you say? What can't you say? What's going to get you in trouble? What's not going to get you in trouble?
I think he's going to clear all those boundaries away. It's going to be the interpersonal interactions that we're going to see. And
so
things. He believes in free speech, right?
Right.
So he's going to, like, all the algorithms. Like today I got a notification. We've covered up a video, and on Facebook, we've covered up a video because it contains sensitive data. And I looked at the
shit,
date.
right?
It was 2016.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fucking 6 years ago. If
That's
y'all don't
what
know
I'm
the
saying.
hell on. So I think he's gonna clear away all of those boundaries and let people just interact how they're gonna interact. But what a lot of people fail to realize is that people are a whole lot more brave when they're behind their keyboard or on their phone than they are in real life, right? So if we were in a town square or not town square, town
hall
meeting, you probably wouldn't say to me what you're gonna say to me on Twitter. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he does that, how that's
no. Hold on. Key.
Nice segue.
That was a beautiful. That was a beautiful.
I didn't even mean
you didn't even mean it. That's why I pointed.
It was so natural. It was so natural. A segue into our next headline. Mike Tyson punches passenger after being harassed.
That's a good headline. You pushed it. You got a good headline because a lot of them were just so baiting. A lot of those headlines were baiting, and I don't.
Yeah.
Look,
Mike should have punched that dude in the face like
that.
Look,
I'm telling you,
however,
we're not even gonna go in. We don't do the clickbait here on Straight to Tape. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna bring it as real as can be. So, courtesy of TMZ Sports. Okay, Mike Tyson was on a plane. He was on his way to a 420 gathering in Miami, where he actually got it with Rick Ross and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And he was on a plane, and hey, this is what happened.
Fuck your boss, fuck my boss.
This is George talking to Mike Tyson, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Mike Tyson. My dog done got lit, man. He over here rapping with Tyson. Mike Tyson trying to give us some shrooms. He don't know how to act. Tyson looking out, man. That shit crazy.
You should have never gave you niggas money. Peasants. They're peasants. That's what man. Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man.
JetBlue, net flight. My boy just got beat up by Mike Tyson. Turn that way. Yeah, he got f***ed up. Just trying to ask for an autograph, man. I don't know what happened.
He knew what the fuck happened.
But don't you love how the story switched, okay? Don't you love how the story switched? He was just asking for an autograph.
No, he wasn't.
So he was behind his ass, man, doing all this other shit, man. Man, you know, is that really Mike Tyson's quote that he wrote? You know what I'm saying? Or did somebody just happen to put that there? Huh?
What?
About the internet?
That everything's all good until you get punched in the face by Mike Tyson?
Nah, he was like, no, not that one, not that one. No, I know that one. I'm talking about the one he says that nobody's, you know what I'm saying, held responsible for this damn keyboard fucking shit. And you get punched in the face, you know what I'm saying, ignoring it. So some to that loose to that effect.
I don't know. I'll look at that right now. But so again, Mike Tyson should not have beat that man like that over him getting on his nerves.
Well, Key, actually,
however,
go ahead.
You're continually over the course of I don't know how many minutes invading this man's personal space. You know he's Mike Tyson. So, you know, I get my conspiracy theorist brain from Rob Thornton back 30 years ago. Somehow I feel like you wanted to take this L so you could sue and get some money. Like, there's no other reason for you to be poking a bear like that. You knew you were going to get that L. You know, we have known Mike Tyson for 4 fucking decades, yo. You knew you were going to get that. You knew you were going to get that. And you kept poking. I wish that Mike had the restraint to not punch that dude in the face. I received no gratitude from him watching him punch the dude in the face. But sometimes you just got to leave shit alone, yo. And he ain't crying. In the video, I mean, at the end of the video, it's like, yo, my man got beat up by Mike Tyson. And he actually turns his head and points to the scar that he has. Like, he's proud of that shit. Yo, social media has corrupted this whole fucking society, yo. It really has.
But Key. I
get some good laughs off of it, but damn.
Key, that was restraint. Okay, that was restraint because I mean, if you really pay attention to the punches that Mike is throwing, those were lightweight punches that he was throwing.
Yeah, man.
Okay? It could have been a whole. He did
bite somebody's ear off too before.
I don't know. I think those punch. I don't know that Mike was holding back in as much as he was restricted by the confines of the
where he was at, right?
Like he couldn't
couldn't get his punches off like he wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, if y'all was in the aisle, that boy would be in the ground.
Yeah,
right.
But like, can I share something with you when we're talking about restraint? A couple of weeks ago, Mike Tyson was in a comedy club, and this happened to him. Look at what happened to him in the comedy club.
Yeah.
All I need is shoot.
What are you doing? All I need is shoot.
Can I get a favor, bro? Hey, Cam, get out of here. Mike. Hey, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get the fuck up out of here. I'm not playing with you. Get up out of here, bro. Hey, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm joking, family. How are you? Hey. Come on, fam. Come on.
All right.
There you go.
Wait a minute. So
I know what you about to say.
And Mike can't even move. He moved.
Of course
camera
not.
person was like, oh.
No.
But he pulled out the gun and got to walk back and give Mike Tyson the hug he wanted.
Exactly.
Key, you got to remember.
People are crazy.
Mike Tyson used to be a stick-up kid. He ain't scared of no motherfucking gun. Right. He ain't scared of no motherfucking gun. Look, you said exactly right. He sat in the same fucking spot.
He did not move at
all.
all.
Did not move and watch that dude. That dude pulled out a piece and he looked at him like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
all you heard was furniture moving because motherfuckers.
That's all you heard,
gun,
getting out of right.
Bruh, man, yo, you people keep on, man. I mean, but then again, this is a test to people that are out here claiming that they want to be bosses, or they claiming that they, you know what I'm saying, they higher up on some whatever, that if you want to stay on top, man, you really gonna have to like mind your motherfucking P's and Q's, yo. I mean, I get it. I really understand. He getting ready to go smoke the fuck out. He about to make some motherfucking money off his motherfucking weed he got, that strain of weed he got. You know what I'm saying? He probably ain't get to smoke yet. You know what I'm saying? They said the mail trying to give him some shrooms on the plane. So evidently he hit him before he got on the plane. So he's feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I've been there.
Bottom line is really though, you really got to stop fucking with people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop
Right.
invading
They're
people's
people.
personal
They are
space.
people.
Right. Stop invading people's personal space. Stop messing with people. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to, you know, come up on social media. You know, stop trying to be a highlight reel and go viral, because it'll often get your ass kicked or worse. So
exactly. So look, Matthew,
how do you deal with those? Because you know, we've all seen concerts where you have one of those fans. You know what I'm saying? How can you? For us, you know what I'm saying, we deal with folks like that all the time. So for us, we don't get, you know, celebrity shocked like that per se. But just in case, but how can you really protect yourself from that fan that's that hardcore fucking, because they're there.
Look, I'll say this, Tico.
You tell the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say this. Let security take care of it. All right. And for Matthew Townsend, I know you just went ahead and lawyered up. You know, now we see where that goes. Good luck with that. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our headline grab. Now, we do have a guest. You know how we are on Straight to Tape. We love our guests. Okay. So look, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is a civil rights attorney who specializes in disability rights and is currently running for the North Carolina State Senate representing District 13. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the S2T virtual studios, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Linda Grafstein to Straight to Tape.
Welcome.
How are you today?
Hello. I'm great. Thank you. I've been enjoying listening to the headlines, so glad I got a chance to hear what's going on in the world.
In the world, right?
In this crazy world that we have. And look, I'll say this, speaking of crazy world, the first thing that I do need to ask you is what has inspired you to run for the North Carolina State Senate? You know, introduce yourself to our audience, and you know why you're running.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the question. I'm gonna take off these glaring glasses. So as you said, I've been a civil rights lawyer for 26 going on 27 years, and I haven't fixed everything yet. So I thought, let me try to do it a different way. So the issues that I've been working on over all that time have been things of economic justice for workers, racial justice issues in terms of discrimination, voting rights, disability rights, healthcare issues. So these are all really pressing issues right now. And so when the seat came open, it's an open seat. And, the opportunity came up to try to run for a position that maybe I could try to make some difference in those areas that I care a lot about. I thought it was time to go ahead and do that. So I just filed a run, and here I am.
Oh. It's like one of those middle of the night thoughts, like, I know. I have those though. Yeah, I know.
Well, it was more like somebody called to, they have it's an organization called Aliens List that recruits progressive women candidates, and they actually called me and asked if I was interested, and I said, well, obviously not. Why would I do something stupid like that? But then I had the middle of the night follow-up thought. I'm like,
right,
maybe
I could do it. We talk a lot about on the show about like how the policy has been removed from politics. It's all about like moral compass now, which is so subjective and relative. Mm-hmm. Will you combat that? How will you combat that, if so?
Well, I think moral compass has a place, right? But I think where we are is we don't have that. The moral compass that I think we've lost is the idea that, government is about helping people, and that government is supposed to be an effort that we all put, our work together and our money together when we do things like roads and schools and things that are for the public good. So all these public goods that are really for the common good, that we're losing sight of that. It's begun to be about different kinds of morals or different kinds of issues that really have nothing to do with morality and have to do with trying to hold power by demonizing other people. So, I think, I'm a Democrat, surprise, but so I think those of us on the left have sort of lost the moral code language, and the people on the right, use that as a wedge, to make things into morality issues that are really just about, driving people apart. And, kind of these straw man arguments to distract from what's really happening, which is that, rich people are getting richer, the wealth divide is growing, and things are more polarized than they've ever been. So, I think there's a moral response to that. And, that's kind of my sense of things, is that we really need to reclaim that perspective and reclaim the mantle of being the moral majority, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yep. That's a terrible phrase. I'll have to, we'll have to workshop something different, but
Let me ask you. So you deal with voting rights and discrimination on voting rights. Being here in North Carolina, so could you give me could you give us some examples of what's going on, like that you've seen here in North Carolina per se? Because I think people tend to they see it and they hear it, but sometimes people just it can't happen here.
Right. Because I had all of us have IDs, right? We never really think about what it takes for people that don't have access to that. Even if they're providing it for free, it takes a shift in thought to understand that everyone doesn't have the same access that you have. To understand why the laws being put in place are so detrimental to a certain group of people.
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of, overlap and intersectionality. So a lot of the people with disabilities that I work with, there's a huge overlap between disability and poverty, which is a barrier to, getting to the place to get the free ID. Right. And maybe you have to go back again, and then you've got to find, a birth certificate or this or that. And, so there are lots of barriers to actually getting something that's supposed to be free. But also, the whole point is, why are we putting barriers in front of people's ability to vote? It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's an area of, voter ID is something that the people have seen it's kind of above the above the fold in the newspapers, and it's on in the stores and things like that. And then of course there's gerrymandering, which is really about depleting some people's voting power. And then we also have things like, prison gerrymandering, where you actually have, there are prisons in the state that are in rural areas, and the people in those prisons cannot vote, but they are counted toward the population in the census for that area and what power that area has.
Oh,
so
wow, I did not know that.
How is that? How is that?
Because they made it so.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
How is that though? You're locked up though.
Right. Exactly. And so instead of counting people in their home communities, when they look at census numbers to figure out where the voting power is going to be, instead and of course most of the prisons in North Carolina are in rural areas because they're jobs magnets and things like that, and it's cheaper to house people in those in rural areas. And so they're counted in that community instead of their home communities, and so it pulls voting power out of home communities, and it's all kinds of negative incentives for for decarceration, right? Because if you're keeping people in prison, apart from all the other reasons why that's feeding the systems, it's also feeding kind of an electoral mismatch.
Man, I love this podcast right here, boy. I tell you, boy, if I don't know something to do every time I come up on this thing, boy, I don't, let me tell you, man, you just put the wow in me. Good gracious, I hadn't even thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Man, that is crazy, yo. Oh my God.
I mean, do you feel better off that you know that now? I don't know. It's
no,
sort of something.
No, I did. I
feel sadder. But
but it does
put knowledge.
It puts context. It puts context on why things happen. For a district, or the reason why things are shifting in the district. Got a question for you, Ms. Grafstein. One one type of bill that we've been seeing come up in other state houses, Florida, major example, the Don't Say Gay bill. Okay. Do you foresee having to deal with this law or a law similar to that going through the North Carolina Senate?
I do, and I think any state is going to see it particularly when you have a Republican majority. And actually, this might have been on Twitter. I hate to bring up Twitter again, but I saw something earlier today, and I have to go back and look for it, where there's some national conference going on, and there are North Carolina Republican legislators, who are putting on a presentation about legislating like Florida. It's like there's an aspiration to be like Florida in some circles.
God.
And these bills, like the Don't Say Gay bill and other kinds of regressive bills, they all kind of originate nationally in some of the national organizations, and then they filter into the individual state legislatures. So this is, it's a coordinated effort in a lot of these areas. And of course, this is something where it's absolutely a straw man argument. It's the culture wars, that there's the rechurning of the culture wars to get people agitated about things that aren't really happening, right? There's no indoctrination going on in schools. These are very, very harmful bills that are just meant for political gain, and it's literally harming people. The suicide rate and the attempted suicide rate among LGBTQ youth is going up, and it's shameful that these things are happening. But even I think if the governor's veto is sustained, it would be this year, and certainly going forward in the next election, if there's still a Republican majority, the governor would veto any of those kinds of bills. But just the fact that we're talking about it, it's in the news, and you're 13, 14, 15, trying to figure out how to come out, and this is going on. It's a terrible environment to be in, and I just feel for these kids today.
And Perry, absolutely, because we had the whole run-in with the bathroom bill, right?
Right, and I'm saying that as somebody who came out in 1982, which was also not a great time, but right now it's really, it's just it's such a fever pitch. But at least you didn't have people in the media hating on you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's a much different time now.
Yeah, different bad in a different way.
Right, it's different bad. Yeah,
different bad.
So I was reading that you were that you went up and trying to get Jesse Helms out of the seat there. I'm a devil's advocate. I'm a devil's advocate on this show here, and I have said on numerous occasions that if Jesse Helms was still alive and he was running, I'd vote for him. Just for the simple fact that he loves North Carolina. I know he don't like blacks and Hispanics and anything in that color, but damn it, he loves North Carolina.
All right. I don't know where to go with that, but okay.
Well, me neither. That was my joke because I'm the comedian on the show.
Don't lie, please. Thank you.
Because I remember as being a young child, when TV went off at 12,
right.
He had his own little show. When TV was about to go off, and he exactly told everybody exactly how he felt about everybody. But he did love North Carolina. As far as the farmers and as far as all that other stuff, I appreciate what you did. Kudos to that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying,
I'm actually glad Tico brought that up. Okay, you campaigned for Harvey Gantt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want to be clear. I was a low-level volunteer. They gave me a stack of flyers, and I went door to door and tried to convince people to vote. And I'd been in North Carolina, just a few months at that point, and so it seemed pretty obvious to me that Harvey Gantt was going to win. So I was working my butt off, just sort of door to door every day after work. And and I believed in it. And but it was definitely a wake up call for me that that just because somebody seems to be the better candidate and seems to really have the kind of heart that he has, that that he didn't necessarily win. But it was quite shocking because I went home after the polls closed to go to the victory party, and the race had been called already. So it was very disappointing, but it was a spark for me to go to law school and to try to do some different things, with my career that have kind of led me down the paths that I've been down. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm sorry that I didn't hit enough doors for Harvey Gantt in 1990.
North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. But
definitely an uphill battle.
and I got to bring this up because it's, you know, this is 2022 and it's a midterm and it's not a presidential, you know, it's not a presidential election year. Talk to our folks about the importance of being engaged civically and especially with your vote during this period when we don't have a main event, so to speak, like a
Right.
presidential election.
Still make it or break it.
Right. No, absolutely. It's critical to be engaged. And first of all, when it's a low turnout year, your vote matters more than ever. And it also matters, by the way, even if you always vote, and that's great, to tell your friends, you know, not just go vote, but like, here's some information. You can go to the League of Women Voters. They have a voter guide. All the newspapers have voter guides where you can, you know, you can read people's stuff in the same place or whatever. So it's also, you know, reaching out to people. And, you know, a lot of people don't know who to vote for and haven't done the research. So that means you can go grab some more votes by telling your friends, I've researched and here are the people that we want to be for. And there are a lot of good groups that endorse. So, and I'll just make a pitch that I've gotten, you know, all the major endorsements of like the Sierra Club and Equality North Carolina and the, you know, Wake County Voter Education Coalition and Raleigh Wake Citizens Association and you know, the AFL-CIO, labor. So you can look at whatever organizations you're affiliated with and find out like who supports your issues. But in terms of engagement, it really is critical. And like, it's a good practice to get in, to vote in primaries, because that's actually where you have the most influence. And if you kind of don't like, you know, the way your party is going, if you don't like, you know, the lack of involvement, then this is a great, you know, kind of ground floor to get in on and take your friends. So, you know, this is it. It's time to go do it.
Right.
Can we ask about your platform?
Yeah.
What you're running, you're getting the endorsements as a candidate. What do you stand for?
Thanks. So the top three priorities I've been running on, one is economic and racial justice, which includes things like affordable housing, public education, public transit, because we need to have, you know, a sound economy requires that we have access to these public goods. People need to be able to get to work. They need, you know, decent places to live. The second part of my platform is healthcare. You know, we need to expand Medicaid. That's long overdue. I also work in the behavioral healthcare with mental illness and developmental disabilities. And then reproductive freedom is also part of healthcare. And then the third issue is voting rights, which we've already talked about. Getting rid of this gerrymandering system, trying to install a nonpartisan electoral map commission, and then also just, you know, increasing access to voting, because one of the things we didn't talk about earlier is, in addition to like getting in people's way by putting voter ID and other barriers in place, you know, we also are underfunding specific areas in terms of voting. So there are lines in some precincts and not lines in other precincts, and we need to equitably fund our voting system. So those are kind of my three big things that I've been talking about.
I like it.
Great.
I like it.
Yes. Now, early voting starts on the 28th. Is that
Thursday? Yes.
Starts this coming Thursday. Primary, you know, the primaries is on the 17th. Okay?
Right, May 17th.
Yep. Which, of course, you know, if you win the first round, you move on to the general election.
Right.
So
You're in the Matrix, Perry.
You're in the Matrix, Perry.
You're in the Matrix, bro. Yeah, do something about it. So, Ms. Grafstein, I wanted to ask you, do you, as an attorney, we were talking about political affiliation earlier, do you believe that expanding the Supreme Court is a way to kind of mitigate stacking the Supreme Court in the favor of any particular party, one or the other?
I don't know. And I really haven't studied that issue on the national level and really thought much about it. You know, we have a favorable Supreme Court in North Carolina. And actually, if I'm going to use your question as a way to say we need to keep that Supreme Court, and we have two seats up this year. You know, if one of the things that we know is that because we had a Democratic Supreme Court, that's why we got better maps in our state. But also, a lot of our personal freedoms are going to be kind of on the line after Roe v. Wade gets taken down and things like that. We need a Supreme Court in place in North Carolina to protect individual rights. But in terms of expanding the U.S. Supreme Court, I'm a little wary of that because, it's already too political, and I think it just ratchets up the politics of it. I don't know what the answer is, and I wish I had a solution for you, but I'm not sure making it more political by adding seats is the right thing. It's I don't really have a strong feeling about it one way or the other. I see the value of it because so much harm has been done by filling seats with people who are unqualified and refusing to fill seats when they were vacant for a year. So there's a moral argument for it. It's just a little bit fraught, I think.
Right. Do you think North Carolina? You think Raleigh per se, because I'm here and I'm a teacher. Do you think that that they'll probably let that stranglehold go on not having unions here?
I think that's going to be a long road. In North Carolina, for those who don't know, we don't allow public sector unions, which means that you can have great organizations like North Carolina Association of Educators who work really hard for teachers and other educators, but they have limited ability to bargain. So I don't know if, in the short term, no, we won't have that go away. We have Republican control, but we can build back the power to do that. We also have a right to work law in the state, which basically kind of makes it harder to unionize because you can have free riders, so you can't make somebody join a union if they go to work in a union shop. So my son works at UPS and he joined the Teamsters, and I made sure he was paying his dues because you can free ride and get the benefits, but that's not a great way to build up unions.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up.
So let me just random thinking of stuff off the top. So where do you stand on issues involving the Second Amendment?
So
Shut up.
That ain't random. Not for you.
You guys were talking about the First Amendment earlier. We can talk about the Second Amendment. Then I guess we'll move on to the
Going
Third
down
Amendment.
the line.
There are no soldiers quartered in my house for sure. So I believe we need better control on guns. I appreciate that people have a Second Amendment right that the Supreme Court has recognized, but I also, there's just so much gun violence and it's completely out of control. So we have so much rage, like we were talking about earlier. In society, that the combination of rage and guns is just not great, obviously. So I'm in favor of laws around safe storage and background checks and red flag laws and things like that, as long as we're not demonizing people with mental illness. But that's a whole other story. So I think we need to have some common sense restrictions. We're not going to get really strong gun legislation in the current political climate, but we can we may be able to get some other kind of things that might save a few lives in the meantime. But I'm very much in favor of reeling in where we are with guns.
Okay.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, April 28th, early voting. Make
Get
sure
your
you're
ass out and vote.
Exactly. Make sure you're out to vote. Lisa Grafstein, I want to thank you for for coming on Straight to Tape and talking to the people. I'll say this, a lot of times, voters, don't feel that their politicians or representatives are accessible. Okay. One of the reasons why we have a platform like this is so that we can have dialogue, have conversation, and especially have straight talk, with those that, that represent us or are aspiring to represent us. So look, we definitely want to thank you for coming on Straight to Tape, and good luck in the primary. Definitely good luck in the primary.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you, and I enjoyed hanging out a little bit.
No problem. Come back anytime.
All right.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes.
You need somebody to curse for you. Keisha do it for you. What was
There
that?
goes
What was
my
that?
political career down the drain.
What was that? Keenan and Peele when they had the interpreter?
Yeah,
was that him or was that Keenan and Peele?
Yeah, that was Key. That was no, that was Key and Peele with the Obama interpreter.
Obama.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
yeah.
Obama.
Obama anger interpreter
Anger
or something.
interpreter. Yeah.
That's classic. That's classic. That's
But
classic.
look, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look, this and I look. I meant it when I said it. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we are here with Straight to Tape. Okay. I mean, yes, we're going to have insightful conversations. We're going to have those, funny conversations. Tico's going to do those things that might get us, that might get us banned from platforms. But either way, we're here to have those conversations and bring those folks on, to engage. All right. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And since I brought his name up, Tico.
Yes.
Speaking of stuff that might get us banned.
Yeah. Speaking about stuff that might get us banned. Tico, do you have anything weird for us today, bro?
You know what? I do. As a matter of fact, I do.
Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Miss Lisa's still listening, y'all. Miss Lisa's still listening to us.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, let's keep it trill, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it trill, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Tico's Theater of the
Weird.
Your ears now.
Weird. Super weird.
Super fucking weird. Yo. As I was sitting at home on a Saturday morning, and I just happened to turn the television on, and what do you see? It's freaking cartoons. I'm like,
on a Saturday? On a Saturday?
On a Saturday.
And they weren't educational. They weren't educational.
No, not educational at all. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I was watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. The old Firestarter, Firestorm, and Iceman. Yeah, those two.
Is that the one with the episode where he tells the boy that I've actually seen the episode where he tells the boy in the blind school?
Yeah, he was gonna die. Yeah, and told the dude he was dead. He was like, all my life for the rest of your life. Yeah. That was a sad situation. But anyway, as I was watching cartoons, I said, you know what? This would be a great time to go into my kitchen, grab a big bowl of cereal. I mean, like the big bowl, like your mixing bowl, like the one your mom used to mix cakes with. The ones your mama tell you, boy, you better put that damn bowl back, get you a regular bowl. I'm talking about the big bowl of cereal.
I could picture your mother saying that.
Yeah. So as I was sitting here pouring my cinnamon toast crunch, I get an alert on my phone that there's a cereal out there that's giving everybody the squirts.
Oh God.
Let me get my finger ready.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It is Not So Lucky Charms. Not So Lucky Charms is giving people diarrhea and fucking them up. It's magically shitty delicious. That's what they're saying. So you can have your green clovers and blue diamonds and brown shits. I don't know. But they're taking a recall of all. Well, no, they're not. They're not taking a recall because Lucky Charms has done nothing but give the people that are sick coupons off on their next box of cereal. So all you all that have been out there fasting for Passover, or you know what I'm saying, you're going through that fast cycle of healthiness. What's that new fast key where everybody's just fasting, where they're not eating shit until like one time a day, and you know what I'm saying, they're just losing fucking weight, whatever that fucking damn shit is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Intermittent fasting.
Some fasting. No, well, this is some kind of healthy fast that's going on right now. So it's a fad fast. Just take you a big spoonful of damn Lucky Charms and go ahead and shit that right on out. So There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tico's Theater of the Weird.
Shitty delicious. So I guess on the other side of the rainbow will be a toilet bowl for you.
Kay, thank you. Kay, thank you. Yo, baby, hit him with a verse, please. Hit him with a verse.
I don't really have anything after that, but
you got to. Clean our palate.
Go vote. That's it. Like, seriously, go vote. People, like Perry said, we don't have a big, heavy hitting main event for this voting cycle, but these times are what shapes what happens in your community, in your neighborhood, in your city, county, state, with your schools. So it's important that you research your candidates and make sure that you go and vote.
Yeah.
It's super hush hush, other than the stupid ass political commercials on right now. But y'all, for real, go do your civic duty, do your research, and cast your vote. April 17th.
That's real
Early
talk.
voting starts on the 28th.
And the key thing there is do your research. Okay.
Yes. Do your research.
Do your research. Because I mean, every voting cycle is an important voting cycle now more than ever. So we have to be vigilant about that, guys. Okay.
If your cousin John getting locked up all the damn time by Judge What's-a-Face, and you can't stand Judge What's-a-Face, go vote. Get What's-a-Face out.
Let me tell y'all a quick story that completely affects this. So there has been a serious rash of car rambling throughs and thefts in my neighborhood, particularly on my street. I live on a super long street and I live in the cul-de-sac on the end. My house is here. My next door neighbor had a car stolen the same night that 2 houses around in our cul-de-sac had that car stolen. The next week, the 2 houses around, these kids, and there are a bunch of kids, came back and stole their other car. They are using like loose keys for like Hondas and Toyotas and the signal amplifier for the push start cars. What we found out is that 2 years ago, the law that's made by the legislators that you vote for changed such that these kids do not go to jail. The guy that stole the 2 cars over there, he has 60 car theft charges and he is 16 or 17 years old.
60
car theft charges, and he is 16 or 17 years old. What happens is that they get charged, they get probation, house arrest for a few months, and they get released back to their parents and house arrest for a few months, and then probation for a longer period of time. So they know they're not going to jail, so they just go out and steal more cars. Like the neighbor who had his car stolen, he is like Matlock. He has gone all through, found all these kids, looked at all their TikToks. They're not even smart enough to sell the shit to a chop shop as much as used car parts cost right now. They just make TikTok videos and stand on top of the car and bash the cars and bash in the windows and bash in the taillights and the headlights so they can make TikTok videos because they know they're not going to jail. The laws aren't protecting you as an owner. The Castle Doctrine law, it doesn't protect you really in North Carolina. We saw that a few weeks ago with the guy in Cary. And they're not helping the parents of these kids do whatever needs to be done to get these kids out of this vicious cycle. So it is super important that you go and do your research and vote for people that are going to help you along your path.
Exactly. Because it's your child, man. Those 60, best believe those 60s are still on paper. When he hits 17.5, and when that 5 hits 18, all of that's gonna roll over, y'all.
Yeah, but
So,
they know
but
they're not going to. They know the law, so they
that's what I'm
know the
saying,
law
though.
just
That's what I'm
changed 2
saying.
years ago.
But that's what I'm saying, though. All this stuff is like a ploy, dog. It's like you know, juvie hall down here is packed.
Mhm.
So you know
That's why they
that's
changed the
the reason
law.
why. Exactly, that's the
That's
reason
why they
why.
changed the law.
And you know, you're absolutely right. If y'all, you know, if you want your stuff protected, man, go out here and vote the right people in and do the right thing, man.
Right.
I know sometimes it seems like it's overwhelming because you hear a lot of these commercials and shit, and you know, you don't know who you want to go for, so you might go Democrat just because. You know what I'm saying? Not all
Yeah.
Democrats do what I need that do what I
Yeah.
need.
And
You
let
know
me
what I'm
speak
saying?
to
So go out there
Paul's
and
point. Let me
right.
speak to Paul's point. The DAs have to be convinced that the kid should be tried as an adult. And that's the struggle. So basically, police are just doing catch and release. Like the second car they stole, the owner of the car hit my neighbor's wife, saw
What?
them driving down the road, chased
Hit
them
it?
down,
Hit
called the
her?
police. No. She saw them riding around in her Jeep. It was like Jeep, they had the top off, all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. She saw them, chased them down. They ended up crashing in a gas station parking lot up on top of a police cruiser. The driver was arrested. The other 3 or 4 in the car, they called their parents and their parents came and got them.
Word.
So the laws aren't in place to protect your property. And there's definitely a balance, right? Because like you said, juvie is full. But juvie probably might be full of kids that really shouldn't be there.
A lot of mental health going on down there, but that's a
Right.
whole nother
I was gonna
show.
say,
Whole nother
That's a
show.
whole nother show.
yo,
But yeah, y'all
That's a whole
go
nother show.
vote. Go vote.
Okay.
Go vote for and do your research. That's kind of the most important thing. Do your research, take your little piece of paper in your pocket and fill out your ballot, either starting on the 28th for early voting at various early voting centers in our area, or May 17th on election day. Primary day.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, another insightful edition of Straight to Tape. And as always, you can catch Straight to Tape live Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. Audio version of Straight to Tape is available on all of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Almost every single
do
one.
I need to stress this? Do I need to stress
On
this
YouTube,
again?
Perry? Is it on YouTube?
Yes, Tico.
Are we on iHeartRadio?
Yes, we are on iHeartRadio, Tico.
Are we on?
Yes, we're there, Tico. We are there. Trust me. Straight to Tape is there. Follow us on our social media platforms, IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Straight to Tape. Check out, as Tico mentioned, our YouTube channel, S2T Media. Hit the subscribe button.
We even got pigeons that go to Mike Tyson's house.
Rob, do your thing.
Please do. Please do. Please do.
I ain't even in the mood, man. Anyway, I'm just. I was just playing, man. So, what's up, man? What's up, everybody? Thanks for rocking out with your favorite podcast, man. We appreciate y'all, man. So I just gotta, do what I do and give a shout out to everybody in the comments. Early on the check-in, we had the homie Lynn Carter. Thank you for checking in. It's been a while. Good to see you. Also, the homie Cherie dropping in. My man Champ, John Champion, also Reg that dude, Daniel Allen. Got a shout out to homie J Trey. Raj the Big Chief, what's going on? My man, the Professor Prince Paul in the house. Tanya T, what's up, baby? My man C's on the check-in. And then in the reacts, we had Neatris Holmes. Yeah, hey, thank you for checking out your favorite podcast. My girl Mikkel, aka Cheeks. We had Candy on the check-in, also Chandra Allen. And shout out to the homie Bishop and also Champ for sharing the stream. And listen, man, as always, if I miss you, I didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me. Didn't mean it. You know, it's all love. It's all love. You know, I'll catch you next time. Shout out to my man Tim Moore. I missed him last week, but he was on the check-in as well. But yeah, keep rocking with us. Like Perry said, we're everywhere. So just search Straight to Tape, S2T Media, and we're there.
We in there.
So
we in there.
Appreciate you.
And look, shouts out to Big C's on the beats.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
C's.
bro.
Thank you, C's. We might need to hit you up with some more, but we love the ones that we have from you. Ladies and gentlemen, such a fun and beautiful
Record Store
episode.
Podcast.
Yeah, got to send a shout out to the Record Store Podcast. Champ, congratulations. Just saw that news about the North Carolina Comedy Festival. Shouts out, Champ. Do your thing, baby. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, look. Make sure you check out, because you know always got to give love. Make sure you check out our podcast and brethren Front Porch Discussions Thursday 6:15 Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live. I'm hoping, well, of course, you know our favorite permanent guest host, Bishop Omega and Intelligently Ratchet, Wednesday nights 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're checking them out. And let's not forget S2T Media affiliate Naisha Frey, Questions You Didn't Ask, also available on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Check out the insightful shows that we are bringing there, produced by our own Felicia Rousseau, and of course your man C. Perry II. We are the Collective Mental, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy Questions You Didn't Ask. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us on Straight to Tape. Make sure you check us out next week. We got to.
Hey, Perry, I got a question.
What?
It's Rob's fault. So, them podcasts you be shouting out at the end of every one of our shows. Did they be shouting us out on every one of their shows?
I know Front Porch be shouting us out like
all
heavy.
the time.
They shout us out heavy.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Reciprocity.
Exactly.
All the time. Okay. IR. You already know what it is, and Questions You Didn't Ask. Like I said, that's fam. That's affiliate. Okay. Plus, it's produced by the best showrunner in podcasting, and Felicia Rousseau, and of course your man here.
Don't tell everybody that.
What?
Because we don't have any money to pay her, and somebody might try to come get her.
Somebody gonna try to poach her, bro. You just giving out free game, niggas.
Ain't nobody gonna poach her.
Hit a button. It's time to go. Hit a button.
Lord, ladies and gentlemen,
all your favorite platforms.
Look, check us out. Look, make sure
Everywhere,
you're in the house next week. Okay, we got a special guest in the house, and if you want to find out who that special guest is, come through our social media platforms on Thursday, and we'll drop it. And then you make sure that you tune in next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Straight to Tape. Because guess what? Next week's show, it's gonna be live.
You gotta be here, yo.
Yeah,
Making plans now.
Yeah. Just make your because it's good. Trust me, it's gonna be a hot one. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the S2T crew.
I see you, Nadia, in the reacts. What's up, girl?
Yeah, look, for the S2T crew, of course, it's your man C. Perry II. As always, let's get active, and let me hit this button before Tico says something stupid.
Hurry up.
Your Uncle Woodrow.